Hey guys, what's up? We are back here with another video today, and today we are doing our Duke Notre Dame preview and prediction. So make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Help me reach my goal of 1,300 subscribers. We're about 28 subscribers away from hitting that goal. We have 6 days until the end of September. So help me hit that goal by hitting that subscribe button down below. Duke fan, Notre Dame fan, doesn't matter. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Like this video if you enjoy it. Comment all your thoughts and opinions down below. Do know this, there will not be a live stream for this week's game, even though I'd love to. I do have a retreat going on, so I will not be able to stream. So definitely make sure that you check out this video and check out College Football Roundup, my podcast channel with American Football Network, the partner channel to this channel. So make sure you go ahead and check out College Football Roundup, hit the subscribe button, weekly podcast exclusively on Roundup. Now let's get into the Duke Notre Dame matchup. So I am not going to talk about Notre Dame and Ohio State. If you want my reactions, if you want my thoughts, I will have a video out on that. There is my instant reaction if you want to watch that, or if you want to watch the live game reaction, that's on American Football Network. He put out a video about me. So do whatever you want to do, but this will be exclusively about Notre Dame and Duke. Big game here for both teams. College Football Game Day said the same thing. Second week in a row that Notre Dame is going to be on game day. And is it fair to say that it could be 3 weeks in a row of having game day follow Notre Dame around? Like, I think it is very possible because, well, you're right now playing in a way that you should be able to get there. But when you're looking down, when you're looking at this, when you're looking throughout the schedule, you're looking at Duke. You're looking at Notre Dame. We'll start with Duke, then we'll work our way to Notre Dame. We'll recap kind of how their season's gone. We'll start with the Duke Blue Devils as they had not a statement win, but a pretty big win where they just completely creamed the UConn Huskies 41-7. They have beaten Northwestern 38-14, Lafayette 42-7, and Clemson the 28-7 victory. So the biggest takeaway I have from this team that is in the Duke so far is this: in Duke, the defense is good. It is a good defense, and that's not surprising. And if you're a Duke fan, you should be like, duh, Mike Elko's the head coach. And like, I understand as a Notre Dame fan, Elko is our defensive coordinator before he went to Texas A&M, before he had this job. So don't get me wrong, I definitely think that Elko is a great defensive coordinator and has the defense humming. But when it comes down to it, so does Notre Dame have an elite defense and a better defense than Duke has. And I really don't think that you could really argue that point because I think when you look at this game, you're looking at a team that just simply is better in that scenario, and I think definitely can have it. So when you're looking down at this game, when you're looking towards this week, when I'm looking at this, Duke, when it looks to keys to victory, you're looking at Riley Leonard, you're looking at this defense, and you're looking at the playmakers that you have. When it comes down to Riley Leonard and Sam Hartman, I think that the quarterback matchup's pretty much even. I think Leonard's a good quarterback. I think Hartman's a good quarterback. I think they're pretty even. I don't think that that's where this game is going to be won and lost. I think where this game is going to be won and lost is in the trenches. And in the trenches, it's simply put, Notre Dame has the advantage. That's just where you're at right now. And, well, that's what's going to happen. You have a team that Notre Dame simply put is in the trenches, and I think a better team when it gets to in the trenches. I just simply think that that's better. When you're looking at this game, I think that you have to look at a couple of different factors as well. One factor that you have to look at is the running game. The running game is going to be a massive play here, especially for Notre Dame. And that offensive line for Notre Dame, they got great push against Ohio State, a much better defensive line than Duke, in my opinion. So you're looking at a good scenario there. So we're going to go through 3 keys of victory for this game for Notre Dame, and then we're going to go through 3 keys of victory for Duke, and then we're going to give my prediction after that. So, Notre Dame, number 1 key, run the darn ball. Run it, run it, run it. You did great against Ohio State. You did great against NC State, Navy, Tennessee State, Central Michigan. It does not matter. You played great when it comes to running the ball. So, why don't you run the ball? You got to be able to consistently run the ball. You should be able to run the ball. You shouldn't have issues there. Run the ball, key number 1. Key number 2, slow down Duke's passing offense and make them run the ball. Stop Riley Leonard, stop the passing offense, because that's what they have as their key. That is where you get a stop there. You get a stop by beating them through the air. You have the cornerbacks to do it. You have Benny Moe. You have Cam Hart. You have Thomas Harper. You have that secondary. Obviously, the secondary is in a good spot, so make sure you do that by getting that down. Then comes down to this. 3rd key for Notre Dame. Can't make takeaways. I need takeaways. When we need to win the turnover battle, not only can you not lose the ball, not have interceptions or fumbles or stuff like that, but you also got to get some takeaways. Like, this defense has not produced a lot of takeaways. You didn't produce any against Ohio State, and that's fine. Like, Ohio State, that's going to be a hard team to get takeaways on. But overall, Notre Dame struggled to kind of take the ball away. I need some takeaways in this game. So now let's flip. Let's look at the Duke side. And when it comes down to it, when you're looking at this matchup, simply put, I think that when you're looking at this matchup, you're looking at a team in Duke that has a lot of potential. A lot of potential. Number 1, you got to slow down Notre Dame's run game. You got to be able to control the line of scrimmage, be able to simply put, be able to stop Notre Dame's run game. You can't allow Notre Dame to run, because if they get a run game going, it's over. Number 2, you got to make Riley Leonard comfortable in the pocket, and you got to be able to get some throws going. You got to be efficient getting going early. That's number 2. Number 3, you cannot do dumb things. You can't have stupid penalties. You can't have dumb turnovers. You can't have missed cues, stuff like that. It is a much smaller margin of error for this Duke team than it is for Notre Dame. Just simply put, it is. So, time for prediction time. As I'm looking at this game, as I'm looking at both of these teams, when I'm looking at Notre Dame, you have the better offensive line, defensive line, secondary. Everything on Notre Dame is better, in my opinion. But Notre Dame just came off a really difficult loss. They did. And Marcus Freeman's a newer head coach. It's only his 2nd season. How is this team going to deal with the agonies of defeat? It's not that you haven't had any defeats. You lost to Stanford and Marshall last year, as well as Ohio State and USC. And with the Ohio State game, you had that letdown, and you lost to Marshall. So that concerns me a little bit. But that was also his 2nd game. He was still getting it going, and there were still issues. So when I'm looking at this game, when I'm looking at the prediction side of it, I know that it is definitely a game in which Notre Dame can lose. But I just don't see Notre Dame losing it. Offensively, defensively, it's just a better team. Duke beat Clemson, but how good is Clemson? Duke, I think, could make the ACC championship, and don't get me wrong, I was high on Duke. Go back and look at my Duke prediction. I was high on them. I had them winning, I think, 9 games this season. So, I had Duke beating Clemson preseason. So, looking at this game, it's not that I'm low on Duke. I'm very high on Duke compared to most people, and that was preseason I was high on them. But when you're looking at this game, based on what happened this season, based on my preseason predictions and stuff like that, you got to go with the Notre Dame victory. I think Notre Dame wins this one 38-21. I think Notre Dame gets a pretty comfortable win in Durham, but I think that it could be close. It could be within a touchdown, but I think Notre Dame kind of gets that last-second touchdown to make it from 10 to 17, and I do think that Notre Dame pulls away with the victory. So, that's going to wrap it up. make sure you check out the podcast channel. We're trying to get it up and going. It's being a little bit slow, so check out the podcast. That's where exclusive content is on College Football Roundup. Otherwise, hit the 2 videos down below and hit the subscribe button up here. And as always, have a great day. Bye, guys.